Lucky Boys Podcast.
Thankfully, I have a girlfriend who's very supportive of this. So,
that's
like
important.
when
you
you
touched on that, it's so important to have a
relationship that can actually support you on your aspirations and your hobbies. Oh, yeah. Because otherwise you start fighting and things just go downhill.
and it makes everything that much harder for you.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you've dieted. We all have done the dieting trend, IF, everything else. I was like, all right, this isn't working. I'm not cutting enough weight for what I want to compete in the weight class I want because everything's bracketed. So I have a friend, good friend, plug. His name is Phil. He's my strength conditioning and weight management coach. He was like, you guys and your fighters like, oh, no carbs at all, just eating just chicken, salad, whatever. Like, it's not going to work for you.
Of course not.
I thought you suck at it.
That's crazy because you can't do a serious sport.
Yeah,
and
not have
doing
carbs.
like some version of an Atkins diet. That's
that's
insane.
Keto diet, Atkins diet, all that
like
stuff.
You need calories.
And that's another thing. So overtraining breaks you down. Not feeding your body breaks you down. And then look, you're breaking it down internally, externally. This is not going to work. So he put me on a macro diet. So something simpler. Your carbs, your fats, your proteins. Like, all right, we're set. So I got him. And then on the back end, I have my coach, Muay Thai coach, so I'm training with him.
Hey, can you run me through that? What's
counting your macros.
Yeah, so let's run through your daily diet. How does that work?
So after I got him.
So
Okay.
what's working for you? Because you've been able. I've seen you. You look great. You lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. Gained a lot back.
Right. So, and it's healthy, right? It's a healthy weight. So you feel great.
Yep.
You're probably in the best shape of your life right now.
I could be better. Tournament-wise was better.
All right. So what's it like from when you wake up? Like, run me through your. I mean, we know your workout, and that'll depend on everyone's regimen. Not everyone's a fighter.
Yeah, of course.
But everyone can sort of get something out
healthier
of
lifestyle.
a healthier lifestyle. So how do you do it? So what kind of food do you eat, and do you meal prep? And what do you
meal
got
prep.
going on?
You just have to.
I think also you can preface like, how did you calculate your macros? Like,
So
because a lot of people in the audience probably wants to know, like, oh, you count macros. Like, how does that affect your body?
Okay.
In certain ways.
All right. So simply enough, he taught me the simple way, but I depended on him. So literally, I was reporting to him every day. Wake up in the morning, tell him what my weight is, and then we'll change my eating habits and schedule week by week depending on the progress while he trains me. Because obviously, he sees me at least twice a week. He sees if I'm getting stronger. How do you base stronger on? Like, can you run longer? Can you push heavier weights? Like, are you building muscle? Are you expending that energy? So, first off, for the audience, if you want to actually try like a macro diet, download something simple like the Under Armour app. That gives you a little breakdown, a diary log. So, everything you eat has X amount of protein, fats, and carbs. And then from there, weigh yourself. Like, just get like a Fitbit, something, and just see how many calories you do your daily burn, your daily expenditure. The simplest thing you got to think about is calories in versus calorie out. If you burn more than you eat, you're going to lose weight no matter what. You eat more than you burn, you're going to gain weight no matter what. It's
common sense shit.
It's common sense, but people don't think about it. They're like, if I just keep eating salad, I'm like, all right, but you don't work out. If you only burn like 800 calories per day because you're sitting at a desk like me and computer all day, I barely walk. The train's right there, and I'm like indoor, out, and barely doing any activity. Even if you eat all the salad in the world, it's not going to help you.
It's not. And then a lot of people that eat these salads, they think they're doing themselves a good deed, but
you're harming your body. Yeah.
The dressing that I see them put on.
Oh my God. Yo, people go to Chopped.
They might be chomping down a huge burger in terms of like if you're just counting calories.
Yeah.
They're getting the same amount of calories, but.
And the burger will probably be better for you because it has some carbs and some proteins in it while your salad is just salad and then dressing.
Correct.
So that doesn't do much for you. So we break it down 3 meals. From there, we counted like my X amount of burning. My breakfast, I had the option. So I did the very lazy way, which also is painful. So I don't really suggest this. In March, when I started working with him, I was 210. Big dude.
And how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
6 foot 2.
Which isn't considered too heavy.
Right.
But for a fighter,
that's like you want to get in a better bracket.
Oh, yeah. So I got into a better bracket. When I did my weigh-in, I was actually 175. So,
holy shit.
But that's also like depleting. I just had to be under 180 because my bracket was 172.1 up to 181.0 or something like that. Okay. Like about a 10-pound difference. So I had to be under 180. That was my goal the whole time.
What's the ideal weight class for a 6 foot fighter?
Dude, you could get...
It depends on your body type.
Your body type, dude. All right, so little spoiler. I fought somebody who I wasn't supposed to fight, but this guy was in the same weight class. But he was in the B League. I was in the C League, complete amateur. He was in the B League. He had about 6 fights on his belt. Situational. I just had to match up to him. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna fight. Dude, this guy was 6'5"
So that's the
in the
thing.
same weight class.
It's probably got a
so
better
you
reach.
shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Somebody like that will dominate the weight class because they're much heavier dude. But if they could cut weight and go through that torture,
Oh yeah,
and then just for the weigh-in, but then on fight day he could be like he could have 20,
he could 20 pounds on him.
you,
So
easy.
all UFC
Easy.
fighters, they do that crazy cut. You saw that
Yeah.
Chris Cyborg and her
They
like
fucking
burning.
they cook themselves.
I can't do that. I did
So-
like a light cut, but it was a painful cut because it's like I like to eat, man. I love to eat.
Bro.
We're in New
Fucking
York.
Asian too, bro.
Asian,
We
you love
we
rice, you
we
love
the bubble
noodles.
tea and the
Noodles.
carbs and the ramen and all
It's
that.
rough,
other-
dude.
Like it's
So
hard.
My
And the fried
breakfast,
foods.
my
Oh.
breakfast was basically just in the beginning was just like cereal and then like 2 eggs, 2 hard-boiled eggs. I could have the yolk. That's breakfast. Lunch would be X amount of chicken. So I actually had to weigh everything. I got a scale. So I had like my set meal was about 225 grams of chicken breast, some low-calorie sauce, barbecue sauce, 180 grams of white rice cooked, and then unlimited veggies. That was my meal, my staple meal, my lunch. Twice a day, so lunch and dinner, same thing. I did that.
Lunch and dinner is the same structure.
Roughly about the same
So
structure
what's
because
breakfast?
cereal, like a bowl of cereal, 60, 80 grams of like
And is
Cheerios.
it like so some boring
The
cereal.
the more boring ones.
No
and then
Frosted
like-
Flakes,
No
no
sugar.
Pops, no Lucky Charms.
So here's the thing. In the beginning, when he worked out with me, he was like, your body is going to take a while. You need to adjust. So tell me if you have any like serious cravings, because that's what a good trainer does. Like he finds out how to work with you. He doesn't just say like,
Right.
jump on the salad, whatever.
Because eventually your willpower will break down the
Yeah,
line.
exactly. So for me, I wanted, it was mind over matter. So I just wanted more than I cared about eating at one point. So he was like, all right, you can have a Pop-Tart before we work out. I was like, oh, what? Pop-Tart, you can have a donut. I don't care. You can have a slice of pizza, because as long as we fit it within your carb brackets. So I was allowed X amount of fats, X amount of carbs, calculate. That's why you got the Under Armour app. I can plug everything in, said like I had pizza, so the rest of the day I have maybe 200 calories left, 300 calories.
So you were just making sure that
I stayed under a number.
You burned more calories than you actually consumed.
Yes, while staying within like a higher protein, lower fats,
So
lower
that
carbs.
you don't actually get burnout and that you can recover.
Yep. So you can recover, and then I also was a big supplement guy, so some BCAA here, whatever, protein powder here and there.
Okay.
He wasn't crazy about it because he was like, you can supplement protein powders, but I'd rather you get real food.
Real food. There's
Protein.
nothing that beats that. Yeah.
Exactly. You feel fuller, you feel more energized, and the main thing is sleep.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yo,
Resting.
you mess up your sleep schedule, I don't care what you do. Your body doesn't recover.
Doesn't
You don't
recover,
cut as
man.
much weight. You get stressed. When you get stressed, your hormones go up and everything gets
Right.
messed up.
You lose strength. I mean,
Oh yeah. So we were progressing. So from March to May, I
I think
had a
your
big
cortisol
drop.
goes up if you don't get enough sleep.
Yep.
How much sleep did you get on average
So it was
when
rough.
you were training?
It was rough with the training schedule, depending on which day of the week. So my breakdown, my training was Monday, Wednesday, lifting coach. So that's like work, and then late schedule. I would get home around 10ish, 11, shower. I try to sleep before 12. That's a little rough there. Tuesday, Thursdays, I have my sparring camp. Same thing, 8 to 9, and then drive home around 10ish. By the time I start sleeping, it's around 12ish. And keep in mind, I always have to wake up at 6:30
Yeah.
for work. Fridays would typically be my off day. Saturday and weekends are my burnout days. So Saturday I'll be at the gym by like 8:30 a.m. I don't leave the gym until like 2, 3.
What?
Yeah, dude. I have boxing class. I have personal training with my coach like every other week. I spar with some guys. I do like some other pad work.
Okay.
I run
so
the treadmill.
a lot of it sounds like cardio.
Some
you're
cardio.
doing.
Yeah, cardio to
what's
push the body.
What's the mix on a weekly basis? Like
So
how much weightlifting, or are you doing any weightlifting at all?
Oh, I am. My strength conditioning coach, he's strictly just lifting. Cardio, I'm supposed to do every day. And HIIT training is all the Muay Thai I'm doing. So Monday, Wednesday is my lifting, guaranteed. Thursdays, if I have time, weekends, if I have time, I'll put in a little lifting session before I do all the
Now, are
Muay
you
Thai.
doing heavy lifting, or are you
Oh,
just
yes.
doing
I'm
light,
building. Heavy.
light weights?
With him,
maximum?
it's always heavy. It was heavy week, and then it was light, high rep week, and then heavy week. Like it
Now,
fluctuates.
do you feel like lifting heavy impacts your speed?
Yes. So you build up the strength, you have it, and then it builds up the endurance. So like my shoulder, you're throwing so many punches. You think about it like a boxer. What's their weapon? Their hands. That's it. They're just punching the shoulder muscles, every little muscle. And then I didn't realize it until I had a personal trainer because I've been lifting since college. I was like, all right, I'm a big dude. I can push out 2.5 plates, almost 3 plates. I started training with him. He made me realize you've been using the wrong muscles all the time. He made me realize that I could barely push 25 pounds on a rack, on bench pressing, because I was using the wrong muscles. I wasn't engaging my chest. So with him, I developed proper muscle, proper form, which actually translated to proper muscles being utilized when I was doing Muay Thai.
So you're probably using like your legs, your back, your shoulders.
Yeah, so you try to do bench press and you think you're going to use your chest muscle, but then I was using your rounded shoulder, so it's called rounded shoulder syndrome. You use a lot of shoulder triceps. Mm-hmm. Your chest never gets activated.
Mm-hmm.
So is that when your shoulders kind of
rounded forward? Yeah. So we're on the computer, we typing, you're rounded forward. Yeah. And when you're trying to bench that way, your body is always thinking, what's the easiest way to get the result? They don't know. Stress is stress on your body. Your body, mentally, your CNS is just like, all right, I'm going to get this weight off me. So how do they do it? Well, your shoulders are bigger, your triceps are bigger, and your position's here. It's going to compensate.
That usually happens when people are lifting heavier
than they can.
Than they actually can for that muscle.
It's an ego thing, too.
Entire body can handle it.
Yep.
But that physical muscle itself cannot.
Yep.
So right away your brain goes into survival mode, and it's like, all right, let's use this muscle. Let's use our legs. That's why you see, like, when I was a kid coming up and we were training.
Yep.
And people were weight training, and people would be lifting weights, and right away you see the lower back come up, the
super arching, But
the
then here's the thing: you
out,
see anything like online, and they're like, "All right, how this guy get that crazy lift? CrossFitters, how they get that big lift, that super arch? Like, why are they doing that? Bodybuilders do it they have a goal is to lift the heaviest weight, but they're only doing 1 rep. That doesn't mean that's good for you. What's good for those bodybuilders doesn't mean it's gonna be good for you.
Right.
The training I do definitely might not be good for everyone else. But to wrap this all back, and you said like the macro dieting, it's find what your body needs, but a macro diet is more flexible if you're trying to do a certain goal.